Hi, I'm John Linneman from Digital Foundry, and I'm here to talk to you about my most played game of 2021. And this year, I spent the most time driving around the world of Forza Horizon 5. And the reason is simple. I love arcade racing games almost as much as I dislike open world games, yet against the odds, the combination of the two actually manages to work for me in this game. I think it comes down to the thrill of driving. I don't enjoy holding up on an analog stick to run across an empty field, but I love tackling corners in a Sierra Cosworth RS500 or slamming down the road in a Mercedes AMG 1. The ease of entry into events and the sheer volume of them, along with the beauty of the world, kept me engaged, and it's tough to put down, which is something I haven't done since it released. Plus, it's a showpiece for the Xbox Series X with beautiful graphics and an amazing soundscape. This is why it's my most played game of 2021.
The game I played the most this year is Halo Master Chief Collection, which kind of surprises me to even say and to come to this realization here in December at the end of 2021. But pretty much every Saturday over the last year, a bunch of friends have jumped online and played Halo 2 and Halo 3 multiplayer. We've been really excited to get ready for Halo Infinite. It started out with a bunch of us being real bad at Halo, but by the end, and just we practiced and we laughed and we had fun together. It was just this dedicated day that we could just jump in and play Halo and get kind of crazy with all the different game modes, starting out with just basic Slayer, but playing all the things, all the maps. Let's just do rockets on Beaver Creek, for goodness sake, and just see what happens. So that's the one. It's not even close, actually, when I really think about it. Shout out to Halo Master Chief Collection 2021.
So this year was a really busy year for us, so we didn't get very much time to play video games, especially together. But when we did, we'd always play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Nintendo Switch, simply because it's a really easy game to pick up and play in short bursts.
Our big goal was we wanted to unlock the parachute with the flying squirrel who's like splayed out. So that was our goal. We just kept playing and playing and playing until we unlocked that. And then our next goal after that was we wanted to 3-star all the levels on all the CCs. So it gave us something to work towards, and we just also got to play together, and yeah.
The game that I have been playing the most this year is Final Fantasy XIV. I've been a long-time Final Fantasy XIV player from A Realm Reborn all the way up until the recent release of Endwalker. Yes, it is partially my job this year. That is a big change just to write about Final Fantasy XIV, but I took that job because it's such a fantastic MMO. Square Enix has done a great job creating a storytelling and MMO experience that is second to none. It is probably one of my favorite Final Fantasies, period, and it's backed by a community that loves the game as much as the developers seem to.
Hi everyone, my name is Randy. My favorite game from 2020 was Streets of Rage 4. I enjoyed the gameplay, the combat, the story. The characters were all amazing, the special attacks were really well done, and the DLC was great. I'm happy that the studio decided to bring this series back because it's one of my all-time favorite series from childhood.
Believe it or not, the games I have been playing the most, or there are actually two. It's Fortnite and Apex Legends, and you might be thinking, why those games? Well, here's the truth. Games like that allow for quick drop-in multiplayer online has been so critical, where I can connect with my community, with my friends, with my family, get on voice chat. In a world where COVID still exists, being able to connect with friends in online gaming has become so critical. Not being able to go over to houses and see family and friends in the same way is really hard. So socialized online gaming like Fortnite, like Apex Legends, has been such a key thing for me in 2021. And hey, if you get a W, you get a win, you get a Royale, that's great too. But the fact I can connect with my friends, my family, and my community, and just chat and hang out, that's really what gaming is all about. And it's so critical. And that's why Apex Legends and Fortnite are my two most played games in 2021.
So the release that kept me busiest this year is actually a series of releases by Hamster called the Arcade Archive. What they do is they port a bunch of old arcade games, one per week, on Thursdays, bring it to like a modern console. So it's really awesome because it makes these really great classic games accessible to a wider audience of people. It kind of helps preserve them too, because like some of these games are like, 30, 40 years old at this point. It's really nice that there's a company out there doing that, kind of like looking after these types of things.
I played a lot of Fortnite. I've played a lot of Microsoft Flight Simulator, but I guess the game that I have been the most addicted to in 2021 is Forza Horizon 5. I have never been this deep into a racing game. I have driven on every road. I have found every barn. I have smashed every billboard. It is by far the best and most addictive racing game I have ever played.
It's the end of the year, and that can only mean one thing: rocket and ray guns. That's right. For me, 2021 has been a year of gamer reflection given all of the anniversaries celebrated, and what bigger to me anyway is the original Xbox back in 2001. I've been super entrenched in Halo MCC, or the Master Chief Collection, and recently the released Infinite multiplayer has been really taking up a lot of my time. And at the time of this recording, we're in the home stretch for the release of the Halo Infinite campaign, so I am definitely looking forward to that. 2021 has been super fun, and 2022 looks even more massive. So as always, play forever.
The game that I've been playing the most this year has to be Knockout City, which was one that was very unexpected for me. Leading up into the release of Knockout City, I was not really looking forward to it at all. I thought the idea of a dodgeball video game felt very niche and very weird and very different, and that wasn't my kind of game. I was completely wrong about Knockout City. It was totally my kind of game. The fast pace of it, the arena shooter kind of feel of it, but the reflexes that kind of reflect something like a fighting game really spoke to me. I love those kinds of games. And Knockout City was a really quality one that I ended up spending, I think, more than 50 to 60 hours in. I love the game. It's a game that I recommend anybody check out. It is some of the most fun I've had this year, and it is definitely the most time I've spent playing a video game this year.
And the game that I played the most this year is actually a re-release of a game that came out last year and was one of my favorite games on the PlayStation 4 generation. That is now leapt to the PS5. That's Final Fantasy VII Integrated. Is the re-release, kind of the director's cut with some new PS5 bells and whistles. I love this game so much. They absolutely nailed and kind of reimagined the idea of what a remake could be. As you can tell from all my toys, I really like this game.
I'd have to say, the game I played the most this year would actually be a game that came out last year for the PS4. But it had a special edition release this year for the PS5. That game was Ghost of Tsushima. Not only is it astoundingly beautiful, but the gameplay was so addictive and fun that it made me want to fight everything I seen on screen. Every side mission, every random encounter, as I took in all the sights on horseback. Hours upon hours of just saying, wow, I can't believe this is a game. And it was enhanced and had a whole new island added to an already stacked game. I must have put in at least 200 hours, easily the most this year. Oh yeah, and then there was Metroid.
It's been an Xbox Game Pass year, hands down. In particularly, the Yakuza franchise got added to Xbox Game Pass. So I went from 0 to 6. I went through the entire story of Kazuma Kiryu. It's compelling, it's fun, 100% worth playing if you've never experienced it. Personally, my favorite in the franchise is the criminally underplayed Yakuza 5. I got so into the franchise, I even purchased the zombie spin-off game for the PS3 off the PlayStation Network before Sony backpedaled on shutting down the PlayStation Network on PS3 and played that too. Even Yakuza Dead Souls was a fun time. So personally, 2021, year of Game Pass, definitely play the Yakuza franchise if you haven't yet.